G'day, I'm Steve Hay, a wet Steve Hay, on Woodworking Masterclass. Well, we've had a lot of rain here lately. We're flooded in, so we're stuck here for at least the next 3 days. I've just seen. All my sheds got flooded, as I said. Timber shed's gone, front shed's gone, wood turning shed's gone. This shed had a bit of water in it, but I've managed to clean it up. And I wasn't going to stream, but then I received a message on my YouTube channel that quite frankly shocked me. So I'll refer to it a little bit later on. And I thought, hey, my troubles are insignificant compared to what some people are facing. So I thought I'd get on there and stream. And if you're stuck at home, you've got nothing better to do than watch me, I will try and entertain you. And you can laugh at my expense. I'm quite happy for that to happen. I'm trying to work on some ovals. Those of you that have been watching saw I did, last week, an oval mirror frame that I then burnt, the thing called yakasugi or sugiban. This is Japanese cedar. Not happy with the shape of that. So I've tried a few other ways of doing things. Still not happy with the shape. There's another one. But it's too pointed here, which I will address later on with a big boy sander, I guess. But it's just trying to find the right thing. I can do small if you want a little oval. Little ovals are easy. Bigger ones, a little bit more challenging. Speaking of a mate of mine, another furniture maker, Damien Fowler in Brisbane, and he suggested I build a jig for cutting ellipses. So that's what I'll do, but not on this stream. I might do it a little bit later on. There's a couple of things I want to try cutting veneers up, so we'll give that a go. If you've got anything happening, by all means, pitch in, say good day, and we'll see what we can do. Oh, yeah, it's just thrown me at the moment. The yard is a mess, but at least the house is safe. We have a roof, we have shelter, and I don't want to sort of get into it, but you know, you think of the poor people in the Ukraine, they possibly don't have a roof and don't have a shelter and an uncertain future. So here's my contribution to maybe, hopefully, putting a little bit of sunlight into the world and taking people's minds off things ever so briefly, but it's what I feel I can do. So that's it. That's what we're going to try and do. Now, I've had several attempts of starting this stream, and they've all died. But thankfully, I think I've got it now all working, so it should all be good. Yeah, this goes into the bed head of the bed that I'm making, and what I want to do is inlay some marquetry behind it on that, and I've got some drawings that have inspired me, so I want to work with them. But on the background of what I'm doing, let me just see what's happening in this thing here. In the background of what I'm doing, oh, sorry, I'm looking there, I've got a blank pop-up chat room. I think, oh, no one's here. Oh, well, that happens. But then I clicked on the other one and there's all these things. So I'll get animated now because I've got actual people watching. Yay! Oh dear. Let me see what's happening there. We're back on. There you go. Sharrock, sound all good? Yeah, mate. I had a few attempts, but it's there. G'day, Vinny. Andy, good morning on this wet. I'll take you outside, but I need a boat. Unbelievable. I think, I reckon we had more, but there was 200 mil of rain last night, which is 8 inches. All the roads are cut, all the rivers are cut, and where there wasn't rivers, there's now rivers. My chickens have got web feet, and the goose, thought it was terrific because it was raining because I generally put the hose on her, but after 3 days, she's gone, all right, fun's over, turn it off now. So anyway, it's not raining at the moment, and what's she doing? She's down in her bathtub having a swim, I tell you. Anyway, That's what happens. You're stuck. I was going to ask you, Vinny, if you're at work. Yeah, that counts. And Louise, I take to your comment. Oh, it's a 100-year flood. Sue and I used to live in the bush many years ago, and you'd hear the old time. Oh God, I'm one of the old timers. But you'd hear them go, this is a 500-year flood. Well, how would you know? There was no written history 500 years ago. And the Bureau of Meteorology, yeah, it's raining. Oh, that's helpful. I can look out the window and save you $4 billion on that satellite because I know it's raining. Mini rant. Anyway, it's all good. So, yeah, look, it's what it is. I've been watching the bees and I love them. I'm going to come back as a bee, except you only live for what, 40 days or something. Unless you're the queen, then you're lucky. But it's been pelting down. I've had Wellington boots on, or gum boots, or whatever you want to call them, and they've been a good 3 inches, 75 mil, up the boot, up to my ankle, traipsing around the backyard. All the bees are inside watching Netflix and eating honey. It's not raining now. They've all got out. They're cleaning their hives out. They're going to collect more food. This is it. They're not on the internet going, oh my God, it's going to rain. Oh, how long is this going to last? Oh, I think the roof's going to get wet. Oh. Anyway, I'm pleased I'm here. Come and take me away. G'day, John. G'day, Daryl. How are you, mate? Well, you put a post up on Facebook and I laughed at it. I've forgotten what it was, but I was going to make a comment, but I enjoyed it. Dear, oh dear. Trevor, g'day, mate. How you going? They tell me you're a bit wet up there. I love that picture of the giraffe crossing the Fitzroy River, and it was me going for supplies. Oh, dear. Chad, mate, long time no chat. Well, it's been a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's all good here, mate. Just a bit wet, that's all. Actually, you say that, Andy. Have you found a place to live yet? But my son lives on the 3rd floor of an apartment block in the city, and he literally, you can see his work. He works 2 streets away from where he's living. He's on the 3rd floor and he cannot get to work because the roads are flooded. Unbelievable. Anyway, tis all good, tis all good. Oh dear. Oh. But yeah, look, the reason I will tell you now, actually, I might refer to it later on. This just put everything into perspective for me. I got up this morning and so it was real strange because there was no sound on the roof. And as I normally do, I answer emails and have a look what's sort of happening. And there was a message, I'll open it and I'll read it to you. This blew my mind, and it's what propelled me to actually stream today. I'm a bit of a hardy. It takes a lot to get me emotional, but this got me emotional this morning, and I will share it with you. Yeah, it came in on the last stream that we did, so you can verify it because it's there. And I can't pronounce his name. His first name is Yaroslav Sukovsky or something like that, and he posted it 10 hours ago. Hi Steve, from Kiev. I love to watch you in this hard time. It really did. It brought tears to my eyes. And I thought, I'm having a whinge because I've got wet concrete in my shed. Oh dear, poor me. And that's what inspired me to stream. It's not about woodwork. It's not about me showing you how to do things. I believe it's about community. As a spin-off, I get to do woodwork, and we tend to all have a common interest. But for me, that hit me pretty hard, that there are people in diabolical circumstances, scary circumstances. We actually have people we know. In fact, it's it says his ex-husband lives in Kiev, so she's in contact with him on a daily basis. And no, I'm not jealous. We've been married for 47 years, don't worry, or 45 years, don't worry about that. But the guy's a human being, he's got a family, and yeah, it's pretty close to home. So that's why I'm streaming. So if you're stuck in flat waters or in situations you don't like, kick back for as long as I can. I can't guarantee I'll do 97 days, but what was it, 56 days straight, I'm not doing that. But let's get some positive energy in the world and put a little light with this darkness. There you go. That's it from Reverend Steve for the day. Oh dear. Oh yeah, Pat, I just got your message. Thank you. Tanner, greetings from Turkey. G'day from Turkey. Greetings to you from Brisbane, a very wet Brisbane. Nathaniel, hi. See, you inspired me to get back on too, mate. Thank you. Thank you for your message the other day. Today's rant is brought to you today by the letter R. Oh, I could think of better ones than rain. Starting with R. Anyway, speaking of which, talking about rants, Sue and I, we have spent 2 days on the new bed. No, watching Netflix and Prime. And yesterday we sat down and binge watched, I kid you not, for 12 solid hours, Two Broke Girls. Now, if you're reasonably open-minded, I would highly commend Two Broke Girls if you want to get out of your shell. They are just the most delightful couple. Two ends of the spectrum come together with circumstances, and yeah, it's pretty raunchy, but oh my goodness, I love it. I can't get back, wait tonight and see what else is happening. But very, very good show. All right. Now what I want to do here, I have been trying my darndest to get 45 degrees on these, yeah, not that one, on these corners. For the life of me, I can get close, but I can't quite get it. So what I'm going to do, I've got it pretty close, is clamp this up. I've drawn the picture or the silhouette of the frame I want to put on here. So I've got a good bite, I've got a good closure on these joints. That one's a bit, there you go, so I might just touch it up with a hand plane. So when I cut all this excess off, these gaps I'm not happy about, but they're not going to be relevant because they'll be gone. So that's the first job. Then the next thing I want to do is play around with setting up a jig on a hand guillotine, which is, this little chap here I've been playing around with. And I want to cut veneers up because I want the inside of this oval, so that's the background, to all be diamonds in mahogany, idiot. What's that black stuff? Ebony. I want them to be all diamonds in ebony. And cutting them by hand, apart from being an absolute pain, it's very hard to maintain consistency over a few hundred. And when you put it together, you'll notice if it doesn't line up. So that's another thing I want to do, which is I might just have a little crack at cleaning this up a little bit. Just that bit there. And we'll see how we go. And I have coffee. So I'm happy for the day. Still dealing with the effects of Hurricane Ida from August. Played an annual Mardi Gras block party gig in the house. Oh, wonderful. A big, whoa. Is that 250-year-old oak tree? Wow. Thanks, John. I tried my best. I thought it would, yes. No, I didn't think it was 250 oak trees because they grow big and that's a lot of oak tree. I've got some lovely French oak, and I'm pleased it's still in the timber yard. It's not getting wet. Now, where's my squirt bottle? I've got a squirt bottle here. Yay! Oh, funny! I'm in Queensland, right, which is on the east coast of Australia. And because of all the rain we've had, the state government has shut all the state schools for a few days. Yay! No, my grandkids who, still I bring it up, they're homeschooled. Oh, bummer, dude. And we've got the internet, so they're sitting at the dining room table doing schoolwork. Oh, you want to see sad faces? Love it. Ooh, that's possibly why that's not straight. Give me a look-see here. Ooh. Yeah, baby. Okay, so that's not there, so that's got to come off there. Okay. If I bring a little bit off there, so I'll use a block plane for that. A little bit more out. There you go. How I know that's out, if you hold a square onto it, this edge here isn't square. So what I've done is just planed off a little bit to bring this edge so it's square. That looks pretty good. We'll see if that makes any difference. Oh, I'm marginally excited. Oh, yeah, baby. So, let's just have a look at this and see if this is going to be the same. This is the advantage, of, take a bit off there, of knowing how to use hand tools. I've got, as you know, a fair array of tools at my disposal, and I can just finesse this up with hand tools. It makes all the difference. Let me just see how that one's going to look. There you go. Oh, did I mention it before? I don't think I did. My chickens. I've had Peanut in here earlier on. She was scavenging for food, but they haven't been enjoying the wet weather. The gooses thought it was lovely. She's running around splashing in puddles, having a good time. The chickens, no, not so much. So, I've got 2 acres here. All the sheds were shut, so they couldn't get in there. And they went, where's the dry place that you think we could go? Oh, look, that building up there, it's got a flat bit of concrete with a shelter over it. Let's do there. So, my question is, we'll run a little pop quiz here. How many pounds of manure do you think 17 chickens can deposit on a back veranda within about 12 hours? Don't know the exact weight, but I'll tell you, it's a lot. So thankfully they're not up there today. But what can you do? They gave me eggs in the morning. You can't begrudge them a bit of shelter. Oh dear. The walnut woodworker. I shaped a whole handsaw handle and I forgot to cut my saw before cutting the slot. Oh no! Oh, yep. It's the only way to do it though, isn't it? If it doesn't work out, you've got to do it. That's what's ticking me about this. It's so close, and yet it's not right, and I will know it's right. And my friend and mentor, Jeff, used to say, and Jeff, I know you're not watching, but mate, I hope you got everything above board where you are, because I saw the main street and the shops are under, so it's bad. He said to me many times, if it's not right now, it won't be right in 100 years. And while ever you're alive, you know it's not right and it's going to bug you. And then you'll get the occasional person that'll actually know something and look at you, oh, that's not right. And that's when the excuses come out, don't they? Oh, yeah, well, I was in a hurry. Oh, yeah, well, it didn't matter. Oh, yeah, I did. No, bottom line, you were slack. You knew it wasn't right and you didn't do anything about it, so live with it. To take the extra time, doesn't matter if it's an extra minute or an extra week or a month, to take the time to get it done so it's right. Oh, look at that. That's good. All right, I'm just going to... Oh, yeah, baby. Happy with that. That is good. See how little I had to take off? I might just take a little bit off this one, I think. And then I can glue it together. And you're right, it's possibly got to be coffee time in a minute. And it is. If you could see how far that's out, it is, I'll just see if I can show you. It is such a minute amount, but it is an amount. There you go. There's barely it'd be about 2 razor blades, I reckon, out, but it's just enough not to give me that nice tight joint that I want. So I'll just square that up and then we can glue this puppy up. I don't know what to glue it with. I think I'll glue it with hide glue. Oh, no, I'll glue it with original Type Bond. I reckon that doesn't creep. What am I looking for? Okay, just a skerrick. I like that. A skerrick. Was that Tom Skerrick? A skerrick off of this side here. As you can see by the burn mark, I actually tried to square it up in the big boy sander, but just a smidge. I think that will do. And really it's that small of a bit that you're taking off, it would be very hard to take that minute bit off with a machine or a saw or a jointer or whatever. So far, this frame, where's my phone? The piece of timber I got was 2.7. I needed 3 meters. So I actually had to cut one at 2.7 and another one at 1.2. Well, no, 1.3 I cut it, so that's 4. That's 4. Okay, just out of interest, and this is why I don't want to mess this up, it's 4 times, oh, was it 170 in it? There you go. Just over $550 worth of timber in here. That's why I didn't want to mess it up. I don't mind if it was $20 or $30 worth, but not when you're talking much. And it is, as you can tell by the grain, it is, see it, flashing. Really beautiful timber. It's quilted Queensland maple. The other thing is I was going to put a biscuit in there or dowels, but I'm not going to. And again, the reason being, I want to profile the frame very similar to this profile. And now I've decided I'm going to put it on the inside, and then I'll round over the outside. And I can guarantee if I put a biscuit or a dowel in there, I'm going to go and cut through it with a router. So I just want this to be a butt joint, which isn't the strongest joint in the world, but it will get us out of trouble. And once it's done, it's going to have no stress on it, so it should be okay. All right. Oh. Where are we going? Where we go? Where's my mouse so I can have a chat? There we go. Diego, I hope your day has been going well. I'm to pop by more often now. What you're doing is very... Oh, well, thank you, Diego. Appreciate that. Trevor, it's just started. Oh, no, don't say that, Trevor. Gold sideboards, diamonds and ebony Steve's bringing it. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. This I'm going to ebonise, so it'll be dark. And then on the inside, I want to put a gold ring, and then, yeah, the ebony triangles. So I'm surprised, actually, how excited I am doing the bed head. I was thinking what was really going to get me going is inlaying the posts and pedestals, but I've got to tell you, I'm quite excited about doing this. I bought all the steel for the bed head because it's all blacksmithed. If I can find a picky, I'll show you, without smashing mirrors and cutting myself and doing all sorts of other diabolical things to myself. Whoops, hang on, let me just put that back there, that can go there. Ooh. Most likely won't be able to find it because that's just the one I operate. Is that it? Oh, that was an early rendition of the pedestal. That was an early bed head that I was going to do. No, can't find it. But it's all, not all, a lot of blacksmithing work. And I went and bought all the steel for it last week. And yeah, you got it. It's all rusty. But it's going to get heated up in the forge anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, is this the one? No, that was the first one, and then I changed it to something else. I don't know where it is. But anyway, got a lot of steel in it. Still tossing up whether I want to put brass in it, don't know. Now, I think maybe, still got a bit of a gap there, so I might have a go at this bit here. Oh! Out by a little bit. Let's see if that's going to fix it. I'm just thinking, I just had a thought then. That's not too bad. It's amazing how little you have to take off to get that. Okay. I'll just rip this on the saw somehow, or do something to it. I might just score it and cut it. Well, I'll just get a handsaw and do it. There you go. That was quicker than cleaning the saw table off. Okay. We will glue this one up. And then start looking at that. How to cut diamonds. That was a good guess, wasn't it? Fit it on there just nicely. Now I'm just going to make sure that I've got the pieces in the right way. If not, you get the chatoyance going from one way to the next. If I'm looking there, that's looking pretty good. What about that bit? No, that one's good. What about this one? Chopper overhead. Oh, I think. I'm just looking the way that shimmers. That goes all right there. Okay. Let's try this again. I just have to turn that one over because that's all flat. Okay. And if this works, I'll glue it up and get rid of it, and then we can move on to other things. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty tight, that's pretty tight. Okay. a little bit out of square, but where on want to get, it's meeting nicely, so that's good. It's lovely, isn't it, Alan? I might be able to pick it up on this board. And there you go. Oops. Just really, yeah, plays the game really well. I'm hoping, against hope, I can glue this and move it without it falling to bits. So I'll give that a bit of a shot. Do a couple of dry runs, which is always a good thing. What have we got? Yeah, it says not only kids that enjoy school when it's not in. Yeah, it's good for me citrus trees, Trev, but I tell you what, me Tamarillo's looking a bit sad. The cucumbers, crikey! I had cucumbers about that big, I reckon about 4 or 5 days ago. They are now that big. I'll go and get one. They're just enormous. But you can't eat 5 cucumbers in a day. Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. Kyle, I've been wondering what is the best way, your way, of sharpening the blades of your hand planers. I've got a few on trying to retrieve. The blades are very dull. Would you just use a sharpening stone? Yeah, look, I'll show you how to do it on a sharpening stone. I personally, because of what I've got, I seldom use sharpening stones now. I use a Tormic a lot with a diamond stone on it. I've got a Robert Sorby Pro Sharp, and I've got a Makita flat blade. But I'll show you how to do it on a stone. As soon as I've done this, Kyle, I'll get an old plane. I'm sure I've got about 30 of them over there, and I'll get one that hasn't got a good blade, and we will fix it. So there you go. ISA for flame and gold after a finish. It's yeah, no, well, I'm going to do a mirror in gold, but this one's not. It's going to be dark because I want the middle to pop out, which is going to be marquetry. I'll show you, this is the inspiration I'm taking for the marquetry on the middle. It's a lot of Robert Gould's plates, and Susie and I went through it a while ago, and we both agreed on. No, it wasn't that one, it would be the one after. Yeah, that one we like. This one here. But I'm just having a look, and I don't know, well, I'll change it, obviously, but that'll be the inspiration for it. And there was another one that I really thought was nice, if I can find it. And it had two, now that's quite nice, that one, with 3 birds. Yeah, that one I quite like too. That one there. So, Louise, that's what your veneers will be used for, my dear. So that's something I'll have a look at in a little bit. Ah, dear. Timo, Steve, you could butterfly the joints in the back for strength, I said. Yeah, like, in all honesty, all that's going to happen, this great big chunk of timber, that's all I'm taking out of it. And that will be strong. And yeah, possibly when it's made, I could butterfly it, but I'm not going to mess around butterflying it until I've cut the shape out and seen what profile I'm going to do, because I don't want to have any foreign timber coming through. So for the purpose of the exercise, it should be okay just to butt glue this, then cut it out, then I can butterfly it once I know what I'm doing. So yeah, it's a big process, and it really ticks me off because all this beautiful timber here, I know I'm going to save some of it and make some boxes out of it, I think, because it's too nice to throw away. So even though it's scrap, it's not scrap. Put brass in it. Yeah, I don't know. The top of the bed head. Where's my phone? I did have a half picture of it there. The top of the bed head, I was going to put Nathaniel going to stream now. Oh, good. Where is it? Okay. All right, let's open it up. Oh, so that's, you can't see it, can you? There you go. I don't know if you can see that at all. There you go. That's the bed head. That crosshatch section along there is timber. But the thing I was thinking about putting the brass in is that top bit. So it'll all be black steel. It's got timber diamonds, and then the oval, which is going to be inlaid. All the other stuff is just round bar and flat black strap. And that top bit, I was going to do gold, but I don't know. I might put brass in it. It depends. Brass is a funny thing to work, whereas metal, steel, you can work it a lot easier and then spray it. So we will see. We will see. 6 knots. Hope you're not in front. Yeah, we are an island. All the sheds copped it. Backyards copped it, but thankfully the house is fine, and we're stocked up. We're good for 3 months, so I've got no worries about that. The only thing that ticked me off, I put the ride-on mower up on ramps because I was going to change the blades, and then the clutch decided it didn't want to work, so it's got an electrical fault and I've got to fix. And it started to rain, and the ride-on mower is still out in the yard up on ramps. And I haven't taken the blades off yet, and I'm not going to lie down on wet grass to do it. Oh, a couple of nice little lizards you caught the other day too, Ben. No, I don't know. I don't know what the demand is for arcs. I'll just wait it out and I'll see. But if anyone wants to buy one, I'm happy to sell you the timber. G'day, Brenda. Oh, I had was it oranges the other day. They split, same reason. Skins just split. Oh, there we go. Righto, Alan, do that. Absolutely. G'day, Shannon. Welcome. As usual. Global flooding, I reckon it is. Flooding everywhere. Why not make it a magic? I could do that. Magic mirror. I can see Brenda. I can see Trevor. I can see Louise. I can see Daryl. And anyone else that's watching. Oh dear. I was willing to offer him 2 grandchildren, but he didn't want them, Trev. Oh dear. All right, now, if I've glued that together, my theory is, this is crappy MDF, but my theory is I should be able to pick it up like that and go and put it down somewhere. I haven't gone that far. Oh, I know what I can put it on. Yep, wait a minute. Weight 1. I'll put it there. If I put that on top, that's going to be not stable at all, but we should be okay. How much droop do we have? Do we get much droop when I pick it up like that? No, that's going to do. That's going to just do fine. So, these are all the other attempts I've had at doing ovals. I will eventually put them together and make a mirror, or 3 or 5. Oh, but I think this is going to be the way to go. Now, I fancy some Ethiopian coffee. That's what I'm going to have. That sounds like a plan. Oh. So the day is not a total disaster as long as I've got biscuits in the fridge. Oh, that's all right. Check the date on that. Excuse me. No, that's all good. I'll froth me milk up. Oh. Ah, dear. There's a milk frother here somewhere. Where does it go? It goes there. Goes there. All right, we're in business. Now I'll glue this up and my reward will be a coffee. Fingers crossed. I'm going to double glue it, and glue is going to go literally everywhere, but I really don't care because I want to get a good joint. But getting back to what I said before, if you can master hand tools, it gets you out of so many situations, because so often the tools that we use aren't as accurate as a good eye and a sharp plane. And I haven't forgotten, Kyle, we'll do a blade very soon. Providing I'll find one, I'm pretty sure I've got some over there. And again, even though I've got, and I'm very fortunate to have the sharpening gear I've got, I also know how to freehand sharpen, which is a good skill. Okay, it's pain, it takes a long time, but you'll find situations where you won't have access to your workshop and you might have to do some work. And if you can do things the old-fashioned way, when I did one of my trades, the fitter and turner part of motor mechanics, we literally had 3 months standing on duck boards, filing pieces of metal by hand, and we were allowed to be out by 1/10,000th of an inch. And we couldn't see the sense in it, and it drove us all potty. And then when we were finished, they showed us things like milling machines and grinders. And we thought, well, why do we have to do it with a hand file when we've got all this wonderful equipment at our disposal? And the truth was, and Shannon, I know you'll agree, sometimes you're in situations where you don't have that luxury and you've got to get a vehicle mobile and you need to know how to do the basics. And it has helped me so often to know, oh, I could just do that. Like cutting that piece of MDF I did before. I could have done it on the saw, but in all honesty, it would have taken me longer to clean the saw off than it did to cut it with a handsaw. And as we did, what was it, a little while ago, sharpened a handsaw. You can send them away to get sharpened, and that's all very good, but sometimes you can't get to a workshop or you can't get somewhere to sharpen it, and you've got to do it yourself. If you know how to use a needle file, you can save yourself a lot of grief. Or you can hold your breath, stamp your feet, and not do anything for a while until they come and bring the machines. And guess what? Nothing will get done. You'll just be blue in the face and still have a blunt saw. Okay, let's see how this is going to work out. Yep. Here we go. Okay. Provided I get good squeeze out where I want the joint, I'm happy. And if you look at that, I've got a gap here, but I'm getting good squeeze out along that joint there. Same here, I've got a bit of a gap up here, but I'm getting good squeeze out where I want the joint. That one's good all the way along, and that one's not too bad. All right. Get a bit of rag. That was the other thing in the top shed. Just before this rain hit, I found about 15 garbage bags full of sheets, and I pulled them all out of the garbage bag and threw them all on the ground because I was going to rip them up. Guess what? They're all wet now. But I will hang them out in the line or stretch them over the backyard, and we won't lose them. I'll get this glue off here. It's most likely going to go through the thickness there again. I'm just doing this to make sure I've got everything the right way around. Okay. All right. That's that. I'll just go and stand this up out of the way. And I can come back to that later on. Oh, while I'm there, I'll just grab I'll see if I can find a plain coil, and we'll, whoop, what's that one there? That doesn't have doesn't have a tote on it. Here we go. There's an old plane, doesn't have a tote, but we'll pull the blade out. I'll show you how to do it on a, looks like it's been there for years too. it's not too bad a nick actually, but we'll do it anyway. Where's my plastic mat? Here we go. Oh, that's clever. Normally I use kerosene, but that is empty. Oh, here you go. Here's some 3-in-1, that'll do. This is a stone that I've had for, oh crikey, I reckon I would have bought it 94, 2004, 2014, so it's 10, 20, 26 years ago, and it's still in pretty good nick. I don't use the other side of it. I use the aluminium oxide side, and it hasn't been used for ages. This is dry as, so we'll put some oil on that, let it soak in. You can see how dry it is, how quickly that oil is just soaking in, so she's dry. The other thing I do, if you're going to use stones and you've made yourself a little carrier for it, I put brads or little nails and cut them off on the bottom. There's about 3 of them. And the reason for that is when I'm sharpening, they'll bite into the bench, so that won't move. Whereas if you haven't got them and that happens, your stone will slip away from you, but if you've got the nails there, that holds it in. So first thing, flatten the back. And if you watch what I'm doing, I'm not doing this. I've got that there and I rock my body. So this elbow stays at the same angle. So that's all you do. As I said, this one isn't as bad as I thought it'd be, but we'll give it a few strokes. Even pressure with your fingers down on the blade. And see, it's shiny. It's not shiny there. I'm not going to be pushing it that far to get that down, but ideally you want it shiny along the base of this line here, because that's the other side of your cutting edge. So that's flat. Then, if you've got one of these, I used to have, do I still have? A minute, I'll just see if I've got, I used to have gauges for these, but I haven't used them for so long. Let me have a look. Oh, I do too, look at that. You can get different varieties. I think this one's in the clips. There are some cheap knockoffs you can get for under 10 bucks. And on the side, it's actually got written, you might not be able to read it, but you can see the printing there. That tells you how much protrusion you have on your blade, whether it's a chisel or a plain blade, to get the angle. Now, most times, it's a 25-degree primary bevel. That means your first bevel you cut is 25 degrees, and then you put a secondary bevel on there, which is about 30 degrees. So I'll set this up. I've got mine set at 30 degrees, so there you go. That's what I'll do this one at. Oh, what's that? 20 seconds. Oh, no. Second. No, first, that's meant to be 25 degrees, so we'll do that. And the how it's sticking out to get 25 degrees, plain line, is 50 mil. So if it pokes out 50 mil from here, that will give me a 25-degree primary bevel. So I'll just double check this to make sure, because I could be telling you fibs. Oh no, that's 30 degrees. Oh, okay, so that must be from my secondary. Well, we'll do it for a primary, which is 50 mil or 2 inches. In this case, I'll do 2 inches. There you go, close enough. Just double check that. Plain iron. Yeah, and if it's a chisel, it's 40 mil for 25 degrees and 50 mil for 30 degrees. That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, anyway, so 50 mil, put that down on your stone, like that. And doesn't matter about your arms here because this is on a roller, so the angle's not going to change. And then you give that rubs until you've got a primary angle of 25 degrees. You can check that several ways. You can put a marker on it. I don't know if it will because it's got oil on it now. Oh, there you go. Put a marker on it and then keep on going until all that marker's gone. If you see that I've taken it off the top, not on the bottom, whereas if we raise that up to what this jig says, that should be 30 degrees. Now what I say is most people do sharpen it 25 degrees and then put a secondary bevel of 30 degrees on it. I personally don't. I generally do a primary bevel of 30 and then put a secondary of about 33 on it, only because of the timber that I work with. Just cleaning this off. So we'll reset that to what I set my planes at, which is 30 degrees. So where's that thingo gone? There we go. And I'm hoping to be able to get most of that off, that text off. So that's what I've done. I've now made a jig up that I know that's going to be the right measurement for the way I like my planes. And it's not what the textbook tells you, it's just what I want to tell you, what I do. Now, oh dear, I need a coffee. I'll put it in upside down. Yeah, try it that way. There we go. And tighten that up. And here we are. And if you look at that, the text has gone off the top of the blade and the back of the blade, and there's text in the middle. And the reason it's got a texture line in the middle is this obviously has been done on a grinder at some stage, so I've got a round curve. It's a hollow grind. A stone will give you a flat grind. Now to put your secondary bevel on, what I do is tip it until that cutting edge is actually on the stone. You'll get a very slight variation in colour. It works better when you're using kerosene, but when you tip it up, when that cutting edge is right on the edge of the stone, there'll be a very slight change in the colour of the stone. Then I just raise it up a couple of inches, couple of degrees, and give it a couple of movements like this. So I'll go like this, get a change in colour there, and go backwards and forwards, and I go across the stone. So I start at one angle, go across, That way I'm using the whole stone and I'm maintaining that angle. Now there should be a very slight burr on that, which I can just feel. Take the burr off. Give it another little bit of a very light cut. And if I've got a strop up here, oh dear. I use a leather strop, just clean any dags off. That's not too bad. All right, we'll put it in. It hasn't got a tote on it, but we'll see if we can get a shaving off it anyway. Where's the cap iron gone? There we go. I have mine about 3/64 or 2/32 away from the edge. If I'm doing rough work, I'll have it a bit more blade coming out, but for fine work, that's all I have. It's just that little bit of blade poking out from the bottom. Not much there at all, but there's enough. Pop it in there. Tighten up the screw a little bit. Bit more. I like it so there's pressure there, but you don't need a huge amount of pressure, but there's enough. Your thumb might go white pushing it down. Now you bring it so the blade is just coming through and even. We'll see how that goes. Where's a bit of timber? There you go. Okay, it's a little bit off. Yeah, we just got to bring it down. Okay, here we go. If you want it a bit finer, just back the blade off. And that, I think, think you'll agree that's a pretty fine shaving. So there you go, mate. I hope that helps. If you've got a really rusty back, you might have to flatten it on a coarse stone or a piece of glass. Maybe start at 60 grit or 100 grit, wet and dry, and work your way up to, I don't know, 320, 400, and then go to your stone. But that's how you do a blade. As I said, the general acceptance is 25 degrees, 30 degree bevel. I do mine at 30 degrees with the 30. I used to use the 32 degree secondary bevel, but since I've been using Tormek, because I can get an accurate grind every single time. These are diamond wheels I've got on there. They don't wear. They will wear out, but they don't wear in diameter, whereas the stone wheels, which is still excellent, they do wear down, so your radius changes. You can maintain the same angle, but what happens is the hollow grind becomes smaller and more pronounced, and then when you put a new wheel on, you got to spend a whole heap of time doing it the other way. So that, for me, because I do a lot of sharpening, the diamond wheels work. But it is still possible to do it by hand. And if you haven't got one of those gauges, there you go, there's a 30 degree ruler. Just get your chisel and practice holding it at that angle and just rock forwards and backwards like that, and you'll still get the same result. Oh. All right, where do we go from there? I'm going to have a coffee and a chin wag. That's what I'm going to do. There's my coffee. Oh, right, a milk too, Cyril. You did well. Stirrer. It's okay. Cockroaches don't crawl on this pencil. They use this pencil. I think. I'm pretty sure I got that right way around. Oh dear. Double chock Tim Tam. I'm ready for the duration. All right, let's go. Oh, there we go. Hey Jamie, how are you? Hope you're well down and save the beer before the... Now, the best way to save is to drink it, mate, and the temptation's not there. Been to Cork, Dublin and Killarney. Lovely. I hope the weather's been good for you. I've got an Irish mate, and he went back home and he said it was drizzle and mist and horrible for 2 weeks, poor bloke. Yeah, they don't like fresh water, do they, the old lizards? We're referring to a fish, a flathead, colloquially known as lizards. That's a good one. I'll try that, Andy. I'll get an airbed and we'll do that. Oh, good on you. No, I'm not taking my cameras outside to get wet, Andy. No, not for anyone. Yep, true, Ben, isn't it? Learn the basics. Well, Jeff used to say to me, he said, learn how to do it slowly, speed will come naturally. I read that quickly, Trevor, and I thought you'd made She Who's to Be Obeyed a singer. But she looks after you. You need to go for Australian of the Year, Liz. Tomato and Vegemite. Oh, I'd have to have a slice of cheese in there. Was getting tear out on the Veritas shooting board. Swap the pine face with the Jarrah one. No more tear. Aha. It's called cost, Vinny. Let's be scabby and save 5 cents. Honey and Vegemite. Oh, Louise. Oh, I don't know if I could come at that. Did you like that chocolate Cadbury's bought out? Cadbury chocolate and Vegemite. Oh, it was foul. Dang, that's a nice coffee. Oh yeah, no, the grandkids have that, Trevor. Banana, peanut butter and honey, yep. See you, Andy. Hope you get a good sleep, mate. 1,500, I'll make sure it's not mine. No, mine's, oh, hang on, where is mine? I tell you, that was an old timers, wasn't it? Wrong drawer, there you go, no, mine's still here. There you go. A Stanley #1. And I used to use it until I found out what they were worth. Now I don't use it anymore, which is a pity. It's even got its own little bag, look at that. A #1. Oh. Would you have it just to put up on the wall, Louise, or are you going to actually use it? Right, now, what I want to do is, let me get a thing going. Here it is. Oh! There you go, that's, Brenda, that's one of the bottles that we've got that ebonising solution we did about 3 weeks ago. I've still got a bit more to put in that, so I'll put a new filter in it. As you can see, the coffee filters get quite scunged up, but that's only one strain and it's pretty clear. So that the amount of muck you get out of there, that's just all bits of leftover rubbish you don't really want. So I'll put another filter in. And I have it next to the bench, and actually it's right next to the fridge. So every time I go to the fridge, oh, I'll put some in. Oh, for goodness sake. Here we go. Okay, just put that in a funnel. Put that in there. Oh, this is just about at the end of it. That's leftover dregs from the steel wool and vinegar. So we'll just give that a bit of a twirl. Tip it in there. You can have a look. I mean, the colour is absolutely disgusting that's coming out. And that will sieve through. I've got another little, maybe 1 or 2 funnels left. And that's it, ebonising solution. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I'll put a bit on here and you can see. It's an iron, I think it's iron sulphide, I don't know, it's iron or something. What we did, that was about 3 weeks ago. I had a 500 gram ball of steel wool, 4 litres of ordinary white vinegar, and you just put the steel wool in the white vinegar and it will melt over time. The steel will dissolve and you have a solution that's called an ebonising solution, And depending what timber you use, this is, I don't know what that is. I think it's Japanese cedar. We'll put some on. Okay, there it is. I'll show you that in a little bit, and it would have changed colour. And here's a bit of that maple that I made the frame out of. Just rub a bit on there. All right, we'll just leave that. And gee, that looks good, doesn't it? Beautiful. It's almost three-dimensional just by itself. We'll leave that on there. You can see that's starting to change colour actually already. Can you see the black starting to come through? So what it is, it's the tannin in the timber reacting to the iron, is it sulfide? Happy to be corrected. In the solution, and it chemically stains the timber. It doesn't work on all timbers, works on a lot of timbers, but you get really beautiful dark timber out of it. Now look, well, just in that brief time I've spoken, that's gone that colour. That's just while we've been talking. You can see the end grain, how it's just gone all black. That's starting to go black there, as opposed to, oh no, wrong side, that side. That's how it'll end up looking though. All right, so guillotine, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh. Yeah, it was, Louise. Well, it was foul. Whoever came up with that, they need to lose their job, really. Okay, so my theory is this is ebony, and what I did, I got some polycarbonate, which I use as the observation decks in my beehives. And it's really, really tough stuff, but you can cut it with a knife. That's it there, so it's clear. And I cut a 60-30 angle out of there, so the veneer can sit up against that, and that will give me, when I cut it, let's see if we can go around here so you can see. That'll give me a 60-degree cut. So I want those to all be the same size. So I've got to build a fence or something out here that's going to give me the same size. And then once I've cut it that way, I can then put it in this way and cut it to the same size. This is going to be out, but it doesn't matter, it's just to show you. And that's how I'm going to get the diamonds. Now I've got several hundred diamonds to do. If I can work this jig out, it is going to save me so much time in cutting them up. Not only that, it's going to give me 100% accuracy as opposed to the way I was doing it before, which was on a board that I made with a fence and I hand cut. So yeah, that's what I want to do here. I want to see if I can fix this up. So we'll do that. That for me, this is the oval that I have to fill with these diamonds. That to me is too big. So I want to make it slightly smaller than that. So we'll play with that. Thung, that's a nice coffee. I should come down and watch me more often. Oh, that's turned me, goodness, milkshake. Oh. Oh. All right. So, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm merely doing this because of that message I got this morning from that chap in Ukraine. And if watching this gives some people a bit of a break from what's going on around them, I'm more than happy to do it. What I want to do is work out what size, and that's what I was going to say. What I said in the description, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing today. And I make no apologies for that whatsoever. But I do want to get this made. And so therefore, I'll just do it. And as happens, those that want to watch will watch, and those that don't want to watch won't. So that's cool too. What else can you do on a wet day? I can't even get my pencil sharpener. Just trying to find a nice, maybe 20mm might be nice. Oh, dibby. I don't know, but I think I should put this on. There we go. I'll put the glue pot on just in case. I remember in the 70s we used to have Tooheys New, which is a brand of beer, and a dash of green, and it was green ginger cordial in it. That was very nice. I enjoyed that. Guy used to have, sadly no longer with us. I used to share barracks with many decades ago. He used to start the day with Frosties flakes, which was sort of like a cornflake covered in sugar, and a warm can of Foster's. That was what he got his day started at 6 o'clock in the morning. Frosties and Foster's. And if he was feeling really good and he wanted to have a fried egg, he used to, remember those old radiator heaters, the reflecting heaters, you know, the half round ones with the hot bar? He used to crank that up, then turn it upside down and level it and crack an egg on the back of it. That was if he was going to have a big day. I like that. I like that. Oh, I've got one of them. Why don't I use that? Oh, because it's not the big one that I wanted, but it doesn't matter. Oh. So all I'm doing here is just, I'm drawing this up. Oh, you idiot. I'm drawing this up. I bought a box of 20 erasers the other day, and they've erased themselves. I can't find them anywhere. Let me have a look, see what I've got here. No, not even there. Goodness gracious. Oh. I tell you, things are pretty crook here. No rubbers anywhere. Bound to be one on the floor. Oh, I didn't really want to get down on the floor. Too many old man noises. did I do? Something made a noise. I hit something. Is everything going all right? Well, that's all right then. Where the heck? I reckon I must have left them up in the top shelf. I've got to clean this shed. This. Aha! No, it was a false alarm. I thought I was right, but I was wrong. Oh well. Doesn't matter. I'll scratch it out with a bit of 80 grit. There you go, that's better. Ah! There you go. Okay. Now what I want to do is go back the other way so I can get the triangles happening. These are great. Look, if you're going to do anything with parquetry or marquetry, get yourself some quilter's rulers. This one's a short one. The longer ones are up in the top shed, but they are just so handy for marking stuff out. Go 30 degrees, I reckon. There we go. Don't need that, so that can go there. No, that's not going to work. Oh, wait. No, it's got to go that way. I hate these things where you have to think. I'm much better at not thinking. There we go. Yep, I like that size. How I got onto using these quilters rules, many years ago I took a year off of woodworking and did textile art. And it was brilliant because it gave me another set of skills. Not only could I bring my woodworking experience into the realm of textiles, but I could also then cross back from what I'd learned about working with textiles, I could then bring it back to woodwork. So I'm very happy that there's a lovely crossover of skills. And I've had people say to me, well, how did you do that if it's woodwork? I said, oh, it's easy. You just do this, which was something I learnt when I got into textile art. And the same thing as when you're making a quilt, or, yes, I make quilts, or whatever. How did you do that? Well, it's a woodworking discipline. The thing I loved about working with textile, and the rest of you out there will appreciate this, if it's not square, it didn't matter, you could just pull it square. And the other thing is, once it's been washed, it wasn't square anyway, so no one cared. Wish you could do that with dovetails, wouldn't it be great? Just pull it into line. So there you go, that'll give you the idea of the background I want to do. Now that's all going to be done in, where is it? There. I'm going to do all that in ebony triangles, and then I'll do the whole board, and then I'll cut out the design that I want. So this ebony will then be the background for what I'm going to do. Hence why I want to cut them accurately. Oh dear. Oh, the old ginger wine, the old Stones ginger wine. That was my favourite when I was about 13. Get that for Christmas and you knock a bit back. Then what do they bring out? They brought out Stones Whiskey Mac that was supposedly had Scotch whiskey in it, but I think they sort of held the bottle next to it and that's about all that got in it. But no, the old Stones green ginger wine, whoa, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, I've got to start thinking in a minute. Beer in a big say, yeah, I don't mind that. That would be quite nice. Well, there you go, the Barracks barbecue could well be. Oh dear, oh dear. That's all right, Michael. It's all right, Michael. I know what you meant, and it's perfectly all right. I don't know what I'm doing, so you possibly didn't miss much. Oh. Yeah, just in the brief time I've been chinwagging, that's the Queensland maple that we covered, and that's the Japanese cedar that I put that solution of iron and vinegar on. So you get a really nice, and the good thing is it'll raise the grain, but you can sand it off and you don't lose colour. Whereas if you're using a spirit stain or a water-based stain, you sand it off to get the fur off or the raised grain off, and you lose some colour. Whereas that being a chemical reaction, it stays. Salty dog, g'day. Length and line. Sounds good. Sun's out again. Don't be a tease, Trevor. Sounds like rain on the roof here. Oh, I don't know. Oh, all right. So let me just hang this stuff up. And I'll see about making the open to suggestions. Can't guarantee I'll use them, but I was going to make a whole wooden board up with a removable fence, but seeing I know what size, what did I say, 20 mil, isn't it? Just over 20 mil actually. No, 20 mil. Okay. I might see if I can rig something up, so I've just got a 20 mil fence off to the side, and that's going to make it a lot easier. I think we'll get a bit of plywood to start with. We'll go from there. Oh, what have we got here? Oh. Oh, that'd rip your shorts out, wouldn't it? Just wrong size. We'll try another bit. I'm shocking, you know. I've been trying to tidy this shed up and I get to a stage where, oh no, I'll throw that away. Oh no, I might need that. Oh, I could use that. I think I've just got to be really, really hard and say, don't be an idiot, you're not going to use it. Just throw it away. Okay, so if I can do that, this is looking all right. So I might have this short bit here. Okay. Was it ever out of square or is it just out of whack? Yeah, no, out of whack. Out of whack. I like that. Oh, that's handy. That's what it is going to look like when it's polished. I just thought I'd share that with you because I just dropped that in the bucket of water I've got next to my bed. Okay. So that's got to actually go up there. Alright. And if I do it the other way, which is that way. Okay, so I've only got to have it up to here. I'll flick this camera over so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So, what I want to be able to do is set a fence up so I can cut that there and then turn it around so I can cut that. Now this is going to be in the way. So how do I take that off? That could be a screwdriver and plier job maybe. Nice revolver. Proper spanner. Oh no, we're having a win, I think. There you go. Beautiful. That way I can take it right. Yep, that's good. That is good. So now I'm going to have to put that on that base there, which I will do. If I've got any metal screws or... Oh dear. Yeah, look, anything you learn, I think, that you can cross over, Michael, I think is a fantastic thing, because it means you're thinking outside the ubiquitous box. Everyone talks about, oh, think outside the box. And you're not locked into one particular discipline, which I think is great. I'm just looking, for any metal screws that I've got. What about that one? Is it going to be too big? It's going to be too big. And it's amazing how one thing can lead to something else, that if you were sticking with the same discipline, you might not have the opportunity to, I could do that, or I could do this. And it's, I find it quite exciting. Now they're going to be two. I'm looking for metal screws. I know metal screws are up in the top shed. Bear with me, bear with me. Do that. That doesn't, it might be square, but it doesn't feel it to me. Yeah, that's not bad. No, it's just my eye, that's fine. Hang on, I'll have a look over here. And I will check the batteries on the mic too. Make sure it doesn't go, ta-da, no, they're all right. We'll have to change them soon, but I think they're okay for the moment. Aha! Nah. There's stitching screws. I didn't want stitching screws, I want metal screws. All right, wait one. I will go up and get some metal screws, and we'll see how we go. Be back, play I Spy. up, Bill. Oh. Oh, crash, bang. Oh, I tell you what, Trev, the sun's out, my goodness. The humidity out there is absolutely filthy. Oh, what do I do with me bit of... Oh, be back. I left me bit of plywood up there. Hello, girl. What are you doing? Go on, you can go in if you want. You don't miss a trick, do you? Hey? Turned me back for 3 minutes, went up the shed, look. Blasted Lucy's come in. Come here. She don't like the wet weather either, do you, darling? Whoops. You don't like the wet weather. I know what you do like. Here, where's the food gone? Where's the food gone? Oh, here you go. Here you go, look at that. Here you go. Talk about a spoiled bloomin' hen. How about I put you on the floor and you have some down there? All right, come on then. Come on. Here's you go. You go down there. There you go. There you go. Oh. Turn your back for 5 seconds. All right. Now, let's see if we can get something happening here, which would be really good. Where's that? So I do that. That's so done blowing into me coffee. Anybody see where I put the screwdriver bit? Here it is. Under there. You knock over that piece that I just glued together, girl, and you will get a tour of the oven. Here we go. You want to go? Oh, no, don't want to go out yet. Okay. idiot. Done it on the wrong side. Got to do it on the other side. Oh, hang on. I'll just put a ladyship outside. She wants to go outside now. Come on then, darling. Here you go. Here you go. Yeah. What? What? Go on then. There you go. Oh. Some days just seem to be like this. Okay. Well, what I can do, so I'm not wasting a hole or a screw, I'll turn it around and do it this way. That way will be just as good. And I will drill a pilot hole. The front shed is starting to dry out a little bit, but and then you find things that you left on the ground that you didn't know you'd left on the ground. Anyway, we're down here and we're having fun and we're being productive. So, as Con the Fruiter would say, I'm not complain. He was good. Remember that comedy company people in Australia? Yeah, a couple of days. Theo, speaking of Greek fruiters, how you going, mate? Oh, I know, at the risk of sounding like an old bloke that's losing his marbles, I'll say it again. I had no intention of streaming today, nor did I have an idea what I was doing, so I'm really pleased I'm getting this done. It's going to help me tremendously in the very near future. All right. So, is that going to... That doesn't matter, does it? That's good. All right. So now I've got to make a fence. Oh dear. I've got to make a fence along here that I can then put this on, so it's got to be... Oh, that'd be handy if that was square, but it's not. So I've got to do it. Oh, I know how I can do it. I'll get a bit of timber that's the width I want, put it against there, put a fence down. It's all coming together now. That's it. It's amazing how your brain works when you have coffee. Let's see if my glue's melted. Yep, that's all good. I know I haven't used high glue for a while, but it's nice to have it there. How about you, Louise? Do you need any more high glue? You're still going well.